went for a visit out to my brother's place for a coffee, and heading back into town now on a beautiful summer's day. So we're February 2016, Southern Hemisphere, New Zealand. Summer. Beautiful warm day. It's going to hit the 30s today. That's Celsius, centigrade. A lot of our friends in the States, they'll be working out of Fahrenheit. So I'm not sure what the conversion is in Fahrenheit, but yeah, we're in Celsius. And again, the videos that I did on the Whanganui River Road, that's just here. So if you want to do a look through some of the older videos that I've done, it's quite interesting down there. So this is Upukanaro again. So as I've said in previous videos, there's an historic place here. I don't know what the history here is, but that building there is covering the brickwork that remains after whatever that was. And I've been up to the par side up here. Not up here, over here. Just up there actually, just up there on that ridge. There's an old pass site that could look right up the river here and right up the river that way, and you can go in here and walk up there. So there's a bit of history there. Actually, I've got another idea. We'll do a detour just up here of what used to be Bennyfield's Orchard on my mother's side. And we'll do another detour back out to Okoia. Got a bit loose in the back there. The tar is all melting. Now, recently I did a video on Strawn's Cave, which, as the video points out, the Strawn family immigrated out to Okoia at Whanganui in the 1850s. They came out in 1851, and during the Maori Wars of the 1850s they dug the cave that we had a look at in a previous video. But what I haven't explained is why they dug the cave. I alluded to the Maori Wars of the 1850s, but out here there's some history of a family that was basically strung up in the trees. Their home, their farm, was raided by the local Maori tribe at the time, and the mum and dad and the older brothers and sisters, they were all strung up in the trees, and the youngest children were hiding in the grass watching the whole thing. And it's known here as the Gilfillan tragedy, and their bodies were left in the trees for several days before they were found. But there's a historic places plaque out on the side of the road where that happened. And that happened around about the time that Strawn's Caves came about, and it was because of this tragedy, the Gilfillan tragedy, that Strawn's Cave was actually dug. So we'll just go for another wander out to Okoia and have a look at some history out there. surface around here, and with the heat the tar becomes quite loose. So another video I did recently was a visit to Okoia school here. This was my school, and had some camera mounting issues around there. I used to walk through here to the village, or take the road round, of course. And Strawn's Cave is down this road, around there. And this here used to be the old Okoia school, and it's now a private residence. So this is my old stomping ground, all this area. General store, it's not such now. That used to be the post office, the petrol station, the general store. Where those cows are, that used to be our house. In there, all of that stuff in the background was never there. Oh, the old plum tree's gone. That was a fantastic plum tree. Now, I basically learnt to ride a motorbike in here. Basically all this area here, all of this. And over there where that pylon is, we used to go right to the far end, come up that rise, and just launch a motorbike into the air. We used to raid all the fruit trees here when we were kids. We had a swimming hole in here. And we used to ride around here where the wool shed is. All of this area, all through here, is my old stomping ground. And as I said in the Strawn's Cave video, my older brother and I would just follow these creeks everywhere, just walk for hours and hours and hours following these creeks. And we used to play up here in these pine trees. Yeah. Yeah, used to walk all the way along here. Historic place, right, okay. So, this is basically it here. Yeah, Gilfillan Reserve. The trees are gone now, but we'll move on and we'll talk about it as we go. Site of the Gilfillan tragedy, we'll see that when we come back. It goes to gravel road up here, so we'll turn around. Right, so I'll do a 50-point turn here somewhere. Not interested in gravel at the moment. That was quite horrible going out to Strawn's Cave on that gravel, but that's just what gravel's like on a bike like this. Man, it's a stinking hot day today. Beautiful day, really. Right, let's go and have a look at that again. So the Gilfillan family was out here the same time as the Strawn family, and the local Maori tribe at the time raided the farm and strung the whole family up in trees. Mum and dad, the older siblings, as I said earlier, and the young children, they were hiding in the grass watching the whole thing, and the bodies were left up in the trees for several days before they were found. And it was because of this that the Strawn family out that way dug their cave as a place to hide if they were ever raided. And unfortunately, no, they weren't raided. But yeah, the Gilfillan family tragedy was here, or just up here actually, and the trees have since been cut down. But the Gilfillan tragedy, historic place, was in there, and it was because of the raid on this family that the Strawn family dug their cave there. So I used to play up in here. Used to ride around all these paddocks on motorbikes. And yeah, there's lots of stories about how I used to set fire to my gumboots and ride around at night time in the paddocks here with my gumboots on fire. But used to ride up all around these hills, all up around here. Used to raid the fruit trees here. And my brother and I would follow these creeks all the way through and get goose eggs and stuff like that. Now, our place was over there, backed on there. And the cars. And in those days, there were no pine trees up there. That was just a bare hill. And there was a TV series on dog trials where they would round sheep up, and that was all done on that hillside there. So, all of this area, all the way around here, all of this is where I learnt to ride a motorbike, you know, before I got my license to ride on the road when I was 15 years old. But before that, this was my stomping ground, all of this. Used to dock sheep over here in these yards here. All of this here is all the Hickey's farm. Used to be a tree over here. There's a house up here now that was never there. These trees were never here. None of these were here. None of these trees were there, but all of this is my old stomping ground. There's an old pass site up there on that ridge as well, which, as I said in the previous video, could survey this whole valley. All of Okoia could be seen from up there. And we used to spend a lot of time up here at the Hickey's place. So all this spur along here, there used to be an old pass site up there. It's not marked by historic places or anything like that, but there's something historic in there. Used to ride around in a car.